Here we see a Blackboard course. Your course design color scheme should provide adequate contrast between the text and the background. Here we see black on a light gray background. Your course navigation is easy to follow. Over here on the side in folders with descriptive words to describe in the folder. We want our content for the students to be not more than 3 links away from the main page. So we have lessons, lesson 2, and then the assignment, video reading assignment. Here we see multimedia, which includes a video which has been uploaded to YouTube. For multimedia, you want to be able to have controls that are turned on and off. Here we see a start button, and a stop button. The other thing, we want to have closed captioning that can be turned on, and we'll turn this on. And our closed captioning is here at the bottom. The text is synchronized with the voice, the audio in there. We have descriptive words linking actually to the video here at the top, telling the user that it opens in a new window. We have the unlinked URL for the video down here, and we have a link to a text transcript for screen readers that will not be able to hear the user to hear the audio, and you can click on that and open it. Another consideration for accessibility in your course design is the choice of the font that you choose to use. You want a font that is easy to read. We suggest using a sans serif font such as Arial, Verdana, Tahoma, or Helvetica. Here you can see this is Arial. You also, if you use a color to convey information, you want to use another style such as bold. Here I'm just using black, but I'm emphasizing it with the boldness. Another important consideration is to use appropriate file names within your course content. Here are a couple file names here. You don't want to use more than 32 characters or blank spaces between the words. Here I use an underscore. You can also use a dash. Your first character should always be a letter. Here it's the letter T. Let's look at links next. So we're going to put a title for this. We want it to be descriptive. So here we have Tutorial 3, Case 1, Data Files. What we also want to do is this link is going to open a new window, so I am going to add that information here. This tells the user when they click on this link that the file will open in a new window. For hyperlinks such as this, the text should clearly state the purpose of the line. What, where, why. I'm going to submit. Now you can see the Tutorial 3 Case 1 data file link opens in a new window. Click, and it will actually be the file name. Here we'll open it with JZip. I'm going to cancel. Let's look at some textbook publisher PowerPoints that go along with the tutorial lessons. We have Tutorial 3 PowerPoint. The link opens in a new window. I've already opened it, and here it is. As you can see, there are many images in this PowerPoint. What I've already started to do is the images do not have alternative text descriptions describing what is going on that page. So we want to include alternative text which is equivalent meaning to what the image is about. So let's right click on the image Go down to Format Picture. And we want to see at the very bottom alternative text. You can see I've already added an alternative text title to this, Style Sheets and Colors of Sunny Acres example, showing code and browser views. Because this is a diagram and there's a lot of information, I want to show more in the long description of what the page is about. I have already created the text within Notepad. Going to copy it and paste it in the long description. As you can see, it tells much more detail about each of these areas. All I got to do is close, and there is there. Let's look at some more features for accessibility in your course design. Here we have a link, Tutorial 3 Key Terms, that goes to a document that originally was produced in Microsoft Word. Let's open it up in Microsoft Word. Assisted technology follows a certain reading order, so it's important that you embed structure within your documents for Microsoft Word and your PDF files. You want to use headings that convey the importance in order, such as heading 1, heading 2, etc. So we're going to change this text up here at the top to a heading 1. You may go in and change the font style, or change it to Arial and 16. It's still showing as a heading 1. The secondary information here, which is a subtitle, we're going to go on and let's check out title. That's too large. We want to do subtitle. And we're going to change that also to Arial. Where the spacing is too wide, so I'm going to bring that down to something more normal. And same here for visual layout. So we have this information. Next we have a table that's showing the rubric for grading this assignment. Tables should only use data, and the reading order is left to right, top to bottom. Your table should always have a header, so we want to designate this. We'll look at our tables layout, structure, and we have this marked as a header row. Already have that set up. And then all the other the text below here we're going to set up as normal. You can set your design up a little bit if there's too much spacing like what we did. Now leave that as it is. Your screen readers will read embedded content first, so don't embed a table within a table. Accessible PDF documents provide content that is presented coherently when accessed through assistive technologies such as screen readers. We're going to check the structure in this document that we set up in Microsoft Word. We're going to go find the tags of the different elements structure-wise. We started at View, Navigation Panels, and we're going to go down and select Tags. Here are the different tags that we created. Remember the H1 headings, and then we had paragraphs, and then the table is below. We can also see the order that the screen reader would read. Here's the first, here's the second. We have a second page, so that's why we have two tables listed. Let's change the P tag here, which is our subheading, And let's change that. We'll just select it and change that to H2. We check these page tags here. These are the secondary titles here. So the H2 class 110 will show larger than these unless we change these two to H2. We'll do that. And this last one here looks to be a blank space. We can also check, we'll close this, view, read out loud. So let's see if the technology works.
Rating rubric NP HTML and CSS 6e Tutorial 1. Case Problem 3 Class Web 110 Professor Lynn Gallup Notes. Lesson 3 Description PTS Your scored text.html file has been opened and saved as tor.html1 plus document has HTML5 structure and comment within head element 2.
Stop. There's a few more options we want to look at for our PDF for accessibility features. We're going to go to Edit, down to Preferences, and you have a list of categories in your preferences. We want to select Accessibility. Here you have your document color options, Override Page Display, Tab Order, which is checked, which is use document structure for tab order when no explicit tab order is specified. This is important. So let's go up here and look at document colors. We want to use high contrast colors for visually impaired. So you have different combinations colors. We have black text on white, green text on black, yellow text on black, white text on black. We're going to leave it at black text on white. There's some comments down here for other accessibility options that are good for looking at for multimedia, screen reading and reading order, document color settings on forms, full screen, measuring, spelling, and units and guides preferences. So we're going to go on and select OK. Next we want to look at Advanced tab and go to Accessibility. We want to do some checks to see if our document is accessible. We're going to do a quick check to start with. Results, there were no problems detected. We're going to then go on and look at the full check to be sure everything's caught. We're going to check the whole document. Start checking. The checker found no problems with this document. I'm just going to click. It's generating a report. Click OK. And here is the button for the accessibility report. The file name, checking option PDF. The warning is the file has not been saved before running full check. And again, found no problems, and with a disclaimer at the bottom for accessibility checker. And close it, go on and save it as and many people do use PDFs in their teaching for document type, so having them accessible is very important for your course content.